Hello friends! Welcome to Squared Plans. I'm Stephanie and today we're going to be doing a flip through of all of my April After the Pens. I'll be showing you all of the planners that I have in here, as well as a little bit of my planner setup, but not too much since I will be changing things up pretty soon. So if that sounds good to you, then let's jump in. Okay, so I have the front of my planner, which I've shown in previous videos, so I'm just going to really jump ahead to, I have a goals section here, which hasn't changed very much, and the real beginning of the April content starts with this pocket folder. I use a pocket folder to kind of separate out my dated planner sections from the rest of my planner contents, including, my goal section here, and in the back I have a reference section. So this kind of kicks things off, and I have my pin loop on here too, just a nice little thing to have available so that I can move it around in my planner if I decide to make some changes, but I don't have to worry about where the pin is. I can kind of shuffle it around. So anyway, so we're going to go ahead and jump in straight away and get into my faith planner. So my faith planner starts off with this little pocket pages setup that I created last year, and there is a video on that. I will try and link it here above, but you can also just search my channel for pocket pages and it should pop right up. So I have a video showing that, and then it jumps into the very first part of my section, which is my kind of faith overview page or spread. So this planner is completely frankenplanned. I used an old undated faith planner that I had from the Happy Planner. Came in a box set. I can't seem to find a valid link for one that is purchasable at this time, but I did find a link just kind of describing it if you just want to see what the planner looks like. I'm using the currently pages and the dividers out of that planner, and the rest of the planner is my quadrant layout from my shop. So you'll see that set up in a minute. But like I said, I start off with this currently page and I use it for my prayer list, and then just kind of some prompts here about my faith for the month and how I'm doing, some goals, and what I'm grateful for. So this was really nice. I used to use a monthly layout from the Happy Planner last year, and it had an overview spread that had kind of a same setup, or I would use it in the same way where I would have my prayer list and some other things on there that were just about faith. So this kind of has taken over that part of the planner, and I really enjoy it. It's really nice that it's kind of already designed, and I like to have this little moment in the morning when I do my when I do my morning prayer, to just look at the design of the layout and also kind of like reference my prayer list. So it's a nice little moment in my faith planner. And on the back it has an undated monthly spread, and I just glued some black cardboard on, or cardstock on the back of it so that I could reuse the dividers in the future. So then we jump into my insert, which is the combined quadrant layout. So it has its own monthly layout already as part of the planner. And last month what I decided to do was a prayer challenge of sorts, or a prayer calendar that I was following. I've done one in the past and I really enjoyed it because it just got me praying for people and things that I don't normally pray for. So this one was a little bit more robust than the other one. The other one just had like one prompt a day for someone to pray for, or some people to pray for. This one has that at the bottom. So the way this is organized, it has the name of God as the first prompt of the day. So some way to adore God at the very top. And then it has a sin or something to confess that you might have in your life. So some of these I didn't really have much to really put out there, but I did just, sometimes you have things kind of hidden in the back and you don't really realize that, it's sitting there on your conscience. So that was kind of nice just to get a super clean slate there of anything that I might have been holding on to. And then I added the gratitude, which is the T in thanks. So C is for confess, A, I believe, is like adore. C is for confess. T is for thanks. And then I believe S is, I want to say, maybe supplication. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, so that's how it's organized. So gratitude is where I would put in whatever I was thankful for the day. And then below that, for people to pray for, I put in the prompt for my husband because I have a husband, but there was also a prompt in there for kids, and we don't have any kids, so I just didn't include that one. And then it has like for people outside of yourself. That was very close to what I had done before. It was basically just this last line where I did the prayer challenge, praying for people outside of my immediate circle. So that was a long explanation, but basically it was really great. I did show the original that I got it from in the setup video, so if you're interested in that, just go back to my faith spread for April and you should be able to see that, and also get the link if you want to try the same one yourself. So I basically just did some pen. I used black and the 2 colors I'm using for the month, which you'll see, and I'm using Arteza pens for this prompt, or for this month, which I always do. I really like these twin markers for this. They have a nice fine tip, which really helps for writing, and there's a bunch of different colors. And there's also a brush tip, which I do end up using more often in the lettering section of my planner. So there is the monthly overview. So here's how the first week came out, and I did my normal lettering routine, which basically just pencil in the verse of the day from the YouVersion app, and then I go back over it with the twin markers like I just showed you. In some instances, I pull out this Tombow Fude no Suke pen in a hard tip because it's really great for beginning letterers like myself, and do some more lettering style, brush lettering style techniques. So I've been doing that all the way. So anything with a bolder kind of brush lettering look, I use this pen, but the rest will be the twin markers. This was a really good week, I thought. I really liked how this one came out, even though there's no brush lettering. And this was Easter week, so there was a lot of great verses in here to work with in that app. Here is the second week, and again, just kind of same thing, kind of interpreting the verse of the day that feeds into the app. This one I thought also came out pretty good, although I can see myself kind of getting to the point where I'm running out of ideas in some instances, or I'm like, just don't want to think too hard. So yeah, but overall I think it is still very fun, and it's interesting to sit and try to figure out how to interpret the verse in a way visually through lettering and or doodles. So it's been really good, and it's kind of drawn me closer to what I'm reading. It makes you kind of think about it a little bit more, which I really like. So next is the following week. I like this one a lot. I liked this door one, and then like the honeycomb one I thought was kind of fun and creative. There's a lot of good ones on this one. I was pretty happy with the way this one turned out. And then I think this is the last, no, not the last one. So here's the next week. And again, I can tell the days where I'm just feeling it and the days that I'm not. And for the most part, this was a good one, although this one was kind of like a, I don't know, this is a little bit of a struggle bus one, I can tell. And finally, the last week, there's a lot of long verses in this one, so there's a lot of, it feels like very full. I really liked this one actually a lot. It kind of used one of the prompts that they give like a visual interpretation of the verse from other artists that's more like computer generated, and it kind of inspired me to do something a little bit different on that one. But yeah, so that's how the full month of April came out in my faith planner, and this is basically my routine. I don't do any traditional Bible studies in my faith planner. It's mainly just me marrying my lettering practice with the review of the verse of the day. One other thing that I do in my morning routine is I pray, and I also listen to a daily reading from that same app, the YouVersion Bible app. And so that's all part of it, and then I will do the verse of the day. So those are like kind of like the 3 things, plus whatever I've decided to do for my monthly challenge, if you will, in my Faith Planner. So that is the end of the Faith Planner, and I've already moved in May because May's already started for me. And I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm just going to leave them in, and I'll just take them all out off camera and shrink this guy back down to its normal size. Right now it's kind of bulky because of all of the other months. So again, end of the Faith Planner section, and I use these tabs here to navigate to those different sections as I go through my morning routine. So that is already set up in the current month and week, and then the overview is where the prayer list goes. So let's jump ahead to the next section, which is my daily section. The daily section is kind of like where I just put all of the appointments, events, things I need to do, all of that just kind of pops into this one section of my planner. I have at the very beginning of it these daily schedules, just kind of an overview of my routines for the morning. I have a master weekly routine. If everything goes well, this is how it would kind of roll out. And then I have a block schedule for those days where I'm not quite as regimented with my weekly routine, but need a little structure to my day. So I've made all of these on a different video. Again, you can find that. I'll try to link it above if you want to make your own routine style inserts for your planner. Okay, so now we're into April of my daily section. This part of my planner is from my shop, so you're going to see this design quite a bit because a lot of the planners I'm using are from my shop. This one is my horizontal layout combined planner that I use, and you'll see how that's all laid out as we go. So this is the monthly spread for April, and I use my monthly spread for memory keeping. I just write down something simple that happened to define the day, something that would be memorable, since I kind of get into a very routine-like life day after day. So just trying to pick out something unique to kind of make the day stand out from the rest has been really great, just, you know, with COVID and all of the quarantine and me not really being able to go out like I used to and kind of mix things up, just finding something to define the day so I can say, oh yeah, I remember we did this on that day and this happened on that day. So this is really great, and I just use a simple pen, again, the Arteza twin markers. I just use it in black, the fine tip, which I really like. I do try to put in a doodle here and there or try to make it look a little bit interesting, but not overwhelming, and that has been working out really great. The design of this I really loved as well. I did kind of like a rainbow florals on the edges, and it worked out perfectly. No complaints on that. So it was a really great spread. And then for the first week in April, I decided to try and migrate over the Alistair Method task list that I was using in March into my horizontal layout. And that went okay. The one thing that I found was that this horizontal has a lot of space compared to the dashboard layout. So having an added tip in here or, you know, a little fold out insert was just like overkill. But I couldn't figure out a good way to include this list on the already set up horizontal layout. One option, though, that I thought of after the fact would be to, if you have a lot of tasks, is to divide maybe like 2/3 of the page up and use that for a running task list throughout the week, and then just use like that 1/3 for anything that's date specific. That could have worked, I think, but I didn't have that many tasks that I needed to really keep track of, so it was a little bit weird. However, I really like the design of this, so if this is something you think you need that extra room on top of your horizontal, I think it came out really very good. I mean, I really like the way it looks. And I didn't have a reason to use this side, but if you do have a lot of tasks, like I said, you could easily just push it into this side. I decided to put it on the outside so that when I was writing, I didn't have to flip it out and then try to write on an unsupported page or have to like reflip it. So I wrote the task list on this side so that I could easily just write it right on the page, right in the planner. Although it's not as attractive as it could be if it was maybe kind of hidden behind here. But it was very practical reasoning why I did put it on the outside, in case you were wondering. I tried to put the things that I did on the day down, but as you can see, it was a little bit sparse. I was finding it hard to use up the space I had in my actual horizontal part of the planner, and I was really more focused on this pretty much the whole week. So yeah, it wasn't a great fit for me to try to put these two together. So I ended up going back to my original idea after this week, or my original setup after this week. I had ideas to put maybe like some goals and stuff on here too. It just didn't happen. Like I said, I just had so much extra space. It was hard for me to wrap my head around how to really fill in all of the gaps. But like I said, the spread itself came out really pretty, and I really enjoyed looking at it for the week. So the next spread was part of the Plannable Challenge, and this week's theme was spring cleaning. So I ended up doing this nice kind of rainbow spread with some icons as like background items, and I really loved it. I did add in a little bit of lettering here and there just to add a little bit of pop of black every so often. I really liked that, and just it was a nice, clean, straightforward spread. I was back to my normal routine, so that kind of just got me back into the groove of things. So this was a really nice one, I thought. And then this one, I decided to do some like clusters of florals. And I think this was for the Plannable Challenge as well. Maybe Past the Pastels, I believe was the title. This one I enjoyed. I tried to use up all of the different options I gave myself with the added boxes here and there. And I tried to use it to its fullest. And I think I did a pretty good job. This next week here was In the Garden, another Plannable Challenge theme, and I really, really loved this one a lot. I was surprised at how much the pressed floral sticker book has become a favorite of mine, because I really didn't like it when I first saw it. I was like, oh, that's meh. And then I picked it up just because I was like, oh, well, I need some decor. It has a lot of decor stickers in there, as well as colorful boxes, and I thought I would pick that up. And I just really ended up loving it when I started playing around with it and using it. I used it both in here and then on that April overview. So, I mean, already 2 very full spreads of those stickers, and both I think came out really great. So, recommend that book if you are looking for a sticker book for your collection and kind of wary about spending money on sticker books like I've become. That one I have found to be very useful. So anyway, so this is how that next spread came out, and again, I really enjoyed that. And then finally, we have here, I think this one was not part of the Plannable Challenge, it was just something I wanted to try out. I had seen some sophisticated looking spread on Instagram, and I want to say it's like Caitlin K Plans was probably the person that inspired me. I'm not sure 100% on that, but I believe she had a spread that kind of made me think of using these florals and black. So I did do that, and I really liked how this one turned out. Just like that kind of clean 2-color theme. Oh, again, these florals are also from the pressed floral sticker book. So like I said, I've been getting a lot of use out of that sticker book lately. So that's how it turned out. It's the last week in April. We're going into May. And then what I did early when I did my planner setup is I have this habit tracker that I've added to the back of each of my months in the horizontal. So I have this habit tracker that I just use to keep track of some things like my morning routine for my faith, just some basic health things, and then some random kind of more like self-care or things I'm striving for down here. And I use that to track it. And so each month I just kind of set that up. So that is the habit tracker, and all of those is part of my daily section. And then we go into the next part of the planner, which is my health. However, so this work habits is the last tab. This is where the planner setup is going to change a bit. So I have all of May already kind of built into my daily, so I'm just skipping that. And then, so this is the back of May, which is already pre-filled out. And then I have my work habits tab, and then here I start off with my monthly tasks, which I just kind of have stuck in here in the middle of the planner. I don't like this setup, so I'm going to figure out a way to kind of reorganize this, but for now that's how it is. And basically it's just a list of tasks organized somewhat by category, so I can kind of figure out what I'm looking at a glance and just kind of reference this each week and see if there's anything I think I can tackle for the week. So like I said, this is going to change a little bit. I have some ideas on how to make this a little bit more functional for me, but for now that is how it was set up, and I just wanted to show you how that was. And I use this tab here for, like I said, it says monthly tasks here. That will change. Right now it is more of a master tasks list, but I just basically grabbed the one that was there before and repurposed it for this dashboard. Okay, so that's the end of my daily section, and then that little brief moment of monthly tasks there, or master tasks there. And then we jump into my health planner. So my health planner starts off with this little healthy habits pocket pages, which I do not have a video on. A lot of people have asked me about it, but the faith setup one will give you the basics for how to at least organize it and get it set up in your own planner, and then you can do whatever you want with the actual squares. So that is the layout there that just kind of starts off my health planner. And finally, I did my health goals. If you haven't been on Instagram, I did post it. I did not do a video on it on this very front part of my insert here because I had just been procrastinating on it for forever. And I just sat down one Saturday and I was like, I'm just going to get it done. And I did. Felt really good once it was done. So, but I didn't do a video because I just kind of needed to get it done and get the flow going. So that is all set up, and I basically finished out this insert, which is like a fold-out insert, which I do have a video on the initial setup of it. The inside and the back of it have videos dedicated to them, just not the very front. So that is that, and I'm not going to show the inside because that is where I have my weight tracker and my measurements tracker. Still working on that. Obviously I have some goals to meet and I'm not even close to those yet, but yeah, so that's what's in the inside, but you can see that set up in the video. And then on the back I have my weight tracker, which I'm just going to put it like this because I do have a starting weight already in there, and I did do a video on this setup. So that is all part of this healthy goals insert. So I have that. I also made a quick little insert for myself just for this Eat to Live plan that I'm trying to follow, not too strictly, but I just wanted to have an overview so I could easily reference it in my planner. So I just kind of copied some things out and created my own little simple insert so I could have it. And then once I'm pretty comfortable with it, I will move it out into my recipe planner. I have a little section in there for all of my like dietary plans so that I can, in the future, if I ever want to do it again or if I want to, restart something, I have all of the information there at a glance. On the back of that right now, I have my current setup for my strength training. I just basically copied that out and stuck to the back here so I can easily reference until, again, I get comfortable with that routine. I have a basic grocery list revolving around the Eat to Live thing, and then like a meal prep insert that I downloaded from somebody but have not really used that much. So that's all in there. I'm just kind of keeping it there in the front of my health planner. And then we get into April in my health. So this is where the monthly starts. And this planner is again from my shop. This one is the health layout. And it starts with a monthly overview spread. So for this guy, I actually replaced out the one that comes with the combined planner with a lined version, which is also available in my shop, but just not part of the combined planner. That's been working out really great. I use it to track my symptoms. I have a lot of chronic allergies, asthma, just issues. I'm broken. And so I track it and try to figure out what might be the cause of, some of the symptoms I'm having or what might be triggers. I also have a little cheat sheet here, or a little insert that I use that kind of defines what medications or supplements I'm taking. And I use this little code at the top of each day to kind of write down what things I'm taking that day or what I ended up actually using medication or supplement wise. So that's just nice. It's just a little quick way to figure out what I did each day. That's basically what I've been using this health overview for the entire year. I also like to set up a few goals here on the edge just to kind of give me an idea of what I am shooting for the month. And that is basically it. So next we have the first spread of the month, and this one was really fun. I decided to use this rainbows theme, and I think this might have been the previous month's plannable challenge, Make It Rainbow. So I had just picked up this rainbow sticker book. I don't remember the full name of the sticker book, but really fun stickers in there. And I think I got it on clearance at Hobby Lobby, so that was awesome. Use that, and I love a nice, bright, fun, colorful spread in my health layout. It's kind of the same setup each week. I don't vary too much just because this works for me. And I don't know, you guys, when you find a groove, you understand that, it's easier to kind of just keep going with that same groove. And when you disrupt it, it just makes things harder instead of easier. So that is how I have it set up, with my workouts basically at the top, mixed in with decor most of the time. I have my food log here. I also track my calorie counts for the most part, and then my stats from my Apple Watch. So I put that there. I usually have some habits that I'm trying to track, as well as the goals for the week, and then my water intake. And that's very much the same routine each week. This is how it came out. The next week I used that Press Floral sticker book again, and this one I wasn't quite in love with, but it was still fun to look at for the week. Some nice moments. I did really like these little headers that I kind of penciled in workout or drew in workout. And same setup though, like I said, we've got the goals, we've got the habits, stats. I didn't track my calorie counts on this week because this is when I first started that Eat to Live kind of style of eating, so I just kind of wanted to just try to get into a groove and not concentrate too hard on the calorie counting at this point. So that worked out pretty well. And then this week I had received the Cocoa Daisy planner sticker kit, as well as some planner inserts, and I kind of cut that up and used it as part of the decor, along with some other like washi tapes and things that I had. I thought this came out really cute and fun, and it was a really interesting way to kind of use those inserts in a non-traditional way. So that is how it turned out. I basically just did my workouts in the same kind of thing and used the cutouts as decor. Kind of switched up how this was laid out because there were some stickers for hydration, so I used those there, and my habit trackers here. Stats were still included, but overall just a really fun spread. And then this week I just got the feeling to use some plants. I don't know why, but kind of did like an at-home gym workout thing, and so I have some like workout materials, but kind of like in an at-home setting with the plants, and black and green. Just, I thought it was really kind of a fun week and something a little bit fresh for me. So that's how this turned out. I did start to try to track my calories again, which was good, just to kind of see when I would go off the rails. Beginning of the week, man, I was always a little bit more regimented, and then once the weekend hits, it's so hard to stay focused. So I really need to get the weekend in check, if you know what I mean. That's where everything just goes bad as far as eating is concerned. But as far as design of the spread, I really enjoyed this guy a lot. And then finally, we have the last prompt for the April Plannable Challenge, which was rain or shine. And I decided to get creative, I don't know why, and do a little bit of like brush pen, watercolor-ish things going on here. I'm not great at it, obviously. I do have, like, the idea is there, but like implementation of the idea is not always how I envision it. But overall, I still think it came out cute. I love the color scheme. I like this little puddle idea, although it took me a while to get it to work. It did, because I had to do quite a few pressings on this one, if you see the video, it did wrinkle the paper a bit, but it's flattened out quite a bit now. So I use HP Premium 32 paper for my inserts. Just a heads up, if you do want to try some watercolor with that type of paper, it holds up pretty well. It does not disintegrate, but it will wrinkle if you put too much water. But it does seem to flatten out and kind of stiffen up again. So just a FYI, if you are interested in playing around with some watercolor in your planner, the thicker paper, I think, does better than maybe like the out-of-the-box Happy Planner paper would, or just regular copier paper is just, that's a waste of time. Don't even bother with that. So overall, this was fun, like I said, and lots of color of yellow. I like that bright yellow, just a very energizing spread. And then on the back, I ended up doing this monthly health stats layout, which I've been doing all year. You can kind of see there's some ghosting here where I had that multiple pressings of the blue, and then there was a little bit of yellow that I accidentally got on the back of the page, which is why I ended up using yellow as the color for the month. But it doesn't really bother me. It's pretty faint, and if I had, really, I would just glue another page on top of it if I really just couldn't stand it. But I think it's fine. It really doesn't bother me. I set this up just kind of like bullet journal style, and I use, like I said, an Apple Watch. So I have an app on my phone called Health View that just kind of really spells out all of the different information that I'm looking for as far as monthly totals, and then like averages for each type of thing I'm tracking. And so it just makes it really easy. And then I use this to kind of gauge how I did between the previous month. So if the arrow is up, that means I did better this month, or if it's down, it means I did not as good as the previous month. Underlined means that I met my goal, so I surpassed what my goal should have been. And then I just kind of review and see how I did and just try to assess how to improve for the next month. So this has been really great, and it's a nice way to kind of close out my health planner each month. So I already have my May again in here for the rest of my health, so I'm just going to go ahead and jump ahead and get to my social. So next I have my social part of my planner, and at the beginning here I have a perpetual calendar from the planner that I'm using in this section. This planner is I call it the Homebody Seasons. I don't think that's the actual title, but it is like the newest homebody planner that they made for 2022. And I decided on it because I kind of like the layout. I use the perpetual calendar just to track my Instagram followers and my YouTube subscribers each day. I just kind of take a screenshot each morning and then write it down as I go. And it's just kind of nice to see how things grow or don't grow. So like I said, I'm using that planner, and then because of that, I have the dividers in here along with the planner because the dividers have the monthly spread as part of it. The monthly spread in my social media is where I track what posts I'm going to put down on Instagram or what videos I'm going to be showcasing each day. So it's like a master schedule, if you will, for the month. I usually have this completely filled out 2 weeks to 3 weeks in advance of the month to come. As I go through each day, I just kind of cross off the day as things happen. I do have it color coded. That kind of helps me quickly see what I want to see on here, and then anything in red is some kind of change or something of importance to call out. I also have been putting in my plannable challenge themes here so that I could easily reference them throughout the month. I don't do too much decorating. You can see it's pretty much all pen, which is great. That's kind of why I picked up this planner, just to kind of ease off of the amount of decorating I need to do each week or each month. So here is the first week of April. I've been really kind of over the florals in this part of the planner. I'll show you on another spread. I think I didn't cover them on the next page. So I've been using kind of like different types of washing and things, trying to cover it because I just am tired of the florals, and it's like for a full quarter. So they began back in March, and I think I'm going to have them through May. I'm over it. So I just did some minimal stickers on this guy, mainly just trying to cover up the design that's already there. I also kind of create my own little chart here for tracking, again, my Instagram subscribers or followers and YouTube. And then I also kind of track like the amounts each day, how much I progressed, if there's been added people. Here in this section, I use this for my videos, so just kind of like my video routine of, setting things up, filming, voicing, editing, and I use that each week for the same thing. I created a little sticker just to kind of go over that little header, and just so I don't have to really think about it, it's just there ready to go. And I have my videos here in the boxes. The rest are for the rest are for Instagram or Pinterest. If it says pin, it's a Pinterest pin. That's basically it, and any kind of highlights for the week. I use the colors to draw out my eye to whatever I need to see. And this is just a basic task list, and then I have my weekly routine that I like to kind of review or go through. So that's the first week. It doesn't change very much from week to week. I do add sometimes a little bit of extraness here, but for the most part, it's pretty consistent each week. This one I decided to go with the greens of these florals. Like I said, I was just over the color scheme and these flowers, so I was just trying to pull in anything I could to kind of change the feel of the page. So I went with green and just kind of green and black mostly, and tried to kind of change the way it looked. This next week I decided on colorful, bright tones, which I think actually made this spread a little bit more enjoyable to be in. I really enjoyed, kind of like this section here. I think just like the rainbow colors and things, and the teal. This one I decided to kind of just go with the florals and used the Homebody Season sticker book to make that happen. I tried these little, checklist stickers this week, which actually I thought were really kind of cool because they were set up exactly the right size for the dashboard, since I guess the book is kind of coordinated with this planner, which was nice. So I did that and just kind of sprinkled around some other items. But yeah, like I said, not in love with these florals at all. And then this is the last week in April, and not much to report. Again, just trying to work with what I can and really excited to see something different in this planner. And that is the end of my April social setup. I do a little like goal growth review here on the currently page. It's simple, just kind of reviewing how the previous month went and how this current month is gone and what I hope to do for the next month. So that is the end of my social section. I've already moved in May, so let's go ahead and jump ahead there. The last couple sections here in this dated part of my planner is my Etsy sales, which is just another perpetual calendar similar to the social growth calendar, and I use that just to write in my daily sales each day. I also have another monthly lined layout that I use for my budget, and I did do a setup video early in the previous year of how I do that, so if you're interested in how that looks, it's very simplified. I don't go too overboard with my budget, just kind of an overview of bills to pay and expenses in and out, income, that sort of thing. Those are the last two sections in this part of the planner, and then they are divided out with another pocket folder. So that kind of like encompasses all of the dated part of planners. At the very back, I have this reference section, which is just things that I like to have on hand so I can easily grab them out of my planner if I have some idea I'm trying to write down or something like that. And then at the very back, I have some miscellaneous note paper, different types, so that I can just have it ready to go. And then that is the end of my planner. So like I said, I'm not going to do too much more as far as the planner setup for this month, because I will be doing a new setup very soon, and I will definitely do a video on that if you are interested. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. Go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to get in touch, and think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Bye!